What about your diet? What kind of diet do you have?
I have a normal everyday diet. I don't follow any particular routine or ritual. And that's why I really try to get the mind out of routines and rituals. Like I try not to sit in the same place. I try not to sit at the same time of meditation. I don't want the mind to get locked into any kind of grooves of this is how meditation has to be. This is how I have to be. I'm constantly changing things up. I don't want the mind to get comfortable.
Right. That's interesting. So once you went through this, and your body is returning to a state of homeostasis, and you're having this connection, this body-mind experience, or mind-body experience, did you then ask yourself, well, what else can I do? Like, what else is on the table for me?
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, at that point, in 2013, 2014, I was really starting to wonder, really, how can I help people? That's why I wrote the book, I Don't Dwell. Then with some encouragement, I started meetup groups and started to do those sessions. And that's what people got out of my sessions was I was never focused on healing. That's the thing. I'm always focused on inner peace, because I've realized if you throw up the word healing to people, their mental junk drawer kicks in with all these rules and story about how to heal. And I want to throw out that junk drawer and let you hear yourself. And that's why I'm restarting my healing circle soon. And I know, astrologically, and I just had the insight to do with starting this month on the 17th, and that's the Saturn square Uranus. And that's exactly my kind of work. Saturn has all these rules, restrictions, builds up mental junk drawer. Uranus comes along and throws out the mental junk drawer. And that's exactly the kind of work that I do, is that I want to throw out your mental junk drawer. So that's what I do at my healing circles is you have all the stuff. Let me throw it out for you.
So in your work, how attached are people to their junk drawer?
Oh, extremely attached. It's an addiction. You get really addicted to this because it's comfortable. Change is hard. The mind is comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's really what I'm seeing. So it is an addiction. You clear this and you get it out of the way, but then the mind starts rebuilding it. It's like an old habit that keeps coming back, but eventually it does stop. And for me, it took about 3 months for the junk drawer to be mostly empty. But every day I have this thing that I've developed is like the daily mental shower. We take a physical shower, but do we take a mental shower? What beliefs did I pick up today? What opinions, what stories that don't serve me? Let's get those out of there. Let me go back to my wholeness.
How do you deal with somebody who is really defensive and wants to hold on to something, thinking that that's really important to them and for them? How do you work with somebody like that?
Well, the best way I can work with them, if they're willing to get into a session with me or the healing circle, once they have that experience of what's possible, that from like all this buzzsaw of noise to like in my sessions getting that deep sense of peace, and just let them see the contrast between the two. And then they can see like, okay, this doesn't really serve me. But there's some people, they're just too comfortable with it. And I really can't do much with that if they're really comfortable with it. And unfortunately, the worst people with that I found so far are multiple sclerosis. They have all these stories. They see me and it's like, oh, you're the exception. I could never do that.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
But I know that's not true. I'm human just like they are. If I can do it, you can do it. There's no one's, above another, below another. We all have these abilities if we can get this out of the way. That's why I will tell people, I don't want you to follow me forever. I just want you to find your path and just see me once in a while. Just talk to me once in a while. That's all. But eventually I just want to get that mind clear. You just go do your thing.
I mean, that's really the way it should be. So let's talk about cross applications.
This is Robert Phoenix, and you can have your Phoenix Fix 6 days of the week with myself and all the sharp, witty, and wonderful people of Chatlandia. Monday through Thursday, it's 15 minutes of flame from 8:45 to around 10:30. This is where I do a morning mash of current events, cycles, and trends to give you my undilated perspective. Then there is the Friday FARcast from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. CST. This is where I get into some of the past and present day high strangeness with my provocative guests. Nighttime is the right time for Sunday Night Astro Live from 7:45 p.m. Central Standard Time to around 10 o'clock. From JFK to John D. and John McAfee, this is the night when I'm diving deep astrologically, sometimes solo, sometimes with some of my inspirational cosmic friends. There's even more at robertphoenix.com. You can read an assortment of my articles, book your astrology reading, take my astrology course, and join my newsletter. It's a great way to stay in touch as all these other prohibitive changes happening on various social media platforms make it more difficult for creators like myself. If you've liked what you've seen and heard, consider supporting my broadcasting by donating. Details are below in the description, or become a member at robertphoenix.com, where you'll gain access to discounts, webinars, and members-only events and content. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and commenting. This really helps out. Use your head in order to discern what's real, your heart to stay open to what's possible.